Hey, what's up people? Tony here, and welcome back to more TTBurger game reviews, and we are continuing my Armored Core series review with episode 126, part 3 of 4. And we have a lot to talk about here as we continue talking about the Armored Core series here, but before we get started here, those of you who missed what happened in episode 126, part 2 of 4, here you go. I got you covered here with something called a TTBurger recap to show you all what you missed. And in episode 126, part 2 of 4, I took a look at Armored Core 2 for the PlayStation 2 and gave it a 9 out of 10 because it was a great game, better than its predecessor, but it had some problems with it, like the lighting in certain levels being too dark, and like the opponent AI and the difficulty being not being very balanced and that, and they'd be overpowered, and the difficulty was like all over the place. But like, if you can look past those flaws there, then you got yourself a great sequel, and definitely worth owning in your PlayStation 2 collection, and especially the collection of Armored Core games and Mech Combat games, definitely. But now we're going to be continuing our review here as we take a look at another Armored Core game on the PlayStation 2. This was released in 2002, and we got it right here. This is Armored Core 3 for the PlayStation 2. Now I will admit here that Armored Core 3 is a good game. It's a good game and stuff, and definitely worth having in your collection of Armored Core games and stuff, definitely. But the problem is that like this game really doesn't offer anything new to the table like how they did with Armored Core 2 here, and it feels like the same game and stuff, and just not really much new here. And those of you who are expecting them to do more with this game, you're gonna be kind of disappointed here and stuff. But that's just me though. Now let's get started here with the story. Same song and dance as before. You are a Raven working for different companies. This time for the Crest, the Mirage, the Kisaragi, and more. Did you complete missions for them and stuff? And basically talks about the controller, this thing called the controller and stuff, and more and more. And basically it's once again, the story just an excuse for you to go out and do missions and stuff for these companies and stuff. It's basically what it is. And there is a good variety in the missions, like I mentioned, like destroying enemies, rescuing a team of scientists and stuff, disabling certain targets, and like defending like a monorail system and more. But I'll get to that in the gameplay later on. The game this is actually a reboot of the franchise, which is strange because Armored Core 2 was a sequel to the original Armored Core, and that went well. But I was wondering what made them decide to reboot this game instead of making a sequel. I mean, I'm not complaining like it's a bad thing. I just wondered myself, why did they do that? I had to wonder myself. I don't know. And like I said, the story is good. I mean, it's a good story, but it just feels very similar to the other two game stories like that. I mean, I know it sounds harsh, but just that with the third game in the franchise, more could have been done with it instead, is what I'm trying to say here. Now for the game's presentation here, Armored Core 3's graphics are great, probably the best looking game in the Armored Core franchise at the time. You can get detailed AC models and enemy models, and you got like the way the weapon effects, move effects look, and stuff like when flames from a flamethrower look fantastic and stuff. And for the most part, it's a great looking game. I will admit the lighting is still a little dark, but it's not as bad as the dark lighting from the previous game. So they did improve that there. And the CG cutscenes also look great too. Like they look definitely improved over the second game, definitely. And I will admit the frame rate is better too. There are still some slowdowns here and there, but it's not that much as it was last time. So graphics definitely improved in this game. Now for the sound we'll talk about here. Great music once again. This time to go for the orchestral action sci-fi apocalyptic tunes that you'd hear in like a sci-fi action movie and stuff, and I like the music. It's the best part of the sound. Voice acting is good, but like in the first two games, it's a hit or miss. You either care for the voice acting or you don't. So it's a hit or miss depending on what you want to do. Is the thing, and it works for the most part. Now we got the other sounds like the weapons firing and stuff like that, and like the way the sounds that the AC does make when it moves like that. They all sound great too, definitely. But now let's get into the gameplay. Now, like I mentioned, the game is good, but like I said, more could have been done with it. And like I said before, like once again, you pick missions and complete them, and you have a variety of missions to take on, like I mentioned earlier, like I mentioned, destroying enemies, disabling certain targets, or rescuing some hostages, or defending a base and stuff like that. And there's a ton of missions to keep you entertained for a while, like tons of them. And you have a lot of customizable parts for your armor core as well. Like you got a lot of cool weapons, like the flamethrower weapon, which replaces your missiles, and when you burn like a target like that, it's cool to see them in flames and watch them explode. It's really cool. And you also have some shotguns and machine guns and bazookas and more like in the last game. And they do a great job of a bunch of customizable parts there and stuff. Definitely, and it's fun finding the right part for your AC and stuff. And it can take time there. The difficulty this time is actually more balanced, but sometimes in Armored Core 3, the difficulty can be a little too easy. Like it's just like I'm sure I complained about the difficulty from the first two games, but here the difficulty just like went down. Like it's just since this was a reboot, they wanted to make it easier for like for people who are just getting into the Armored Core series and stuff. But still, like, for those of you who were fans of like the difficulty from the first game, you'll be kind of disappointed here that like the game is a little too easy here. But that's just me though. But just like still, the game is a little too easy at times. It's the thing, and that's why I was bringing this up. The opponent AI doesn't really put up much of a fight and stuff. Most of the time it is either move around or stay in one spot and you can attack them, or they'll just like attack you and stuff. But I mean, I don't mind that. I mean, sure, I understand balanced difficulty, but sometimes they kind of made it a little too easy, like I said. I mean, like I said before, I don't mind that they rebooted the franchise with this game and stuff like that, because like they can do what they want. It's their franchise. It's just I expected the game to be better. More could have been done with it, is what I mean. I mean, it is a good game, but just not as good as its predecessors is what I mean. And that's basically what I'm trying to say there. I still recommend this game, but just be warned, if you're looking for something that's an improvement over Armored Core 2, you're going to be kind of disappointed here. So my final thoughts are this. If you like Armored Core and you want some mech combat games and stuff for you, and you want more Armored Core, then definitely pick this game up, because it is still worth it. It's still worth it. It's still a good game, just like not as good as the other two games. Still, it's worth having in your collection. Due to the complaints I have with Armored Core 3 here, the score I'll be giving this is probably a 7 out of 10. I mean, it's the best score to give it because more could have been done with it, is what I'm trying to say. I mean, if you want it, then there you go. But if you're all set with Armored Core 2, then go right ahead, or its expansions, go right ahead as well. They also made some expansions for Armored Core 3 here, but like I said, I won't be reviewing them because like I don't own the expansion stuff. Because I'm fine with the main games like they're here. And that's it for this episode, episode 126, part 3 of 4. We're gonna go to the final part here as we step into the PlayStation 3 era of Armored Core. Look at Armored Core 4 for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. Yeah, this is the first multi-port port game. Well, of course, Armored Core 3 had a PSP port, but like this is the first multi-console port game in the franchise and stuff. So, how does this game fare with like the next-gen hardware? Well, stay tuned in episode 126, part 4 of 4, as you look at Armored Core 4. And for all I can say, this is Tony. Peace out, and have a great day, and see you all in the next part.